So, this is who you really are.
No, sir.
You've been stealing from me.
I swear, I didn't.
I trusted you!
Inside the penthouse, billionaire Marcus King stood in silence, staring over the skyline. He had everything: private jets, luxury cars, a billion-dollar company. Yet somehow, he trusted almost nobody. For the past 3 years, the only constant in his mansion had been his quiet maid, Naomi. She spoke only when spoken to, never complained, never asked for a raise, never missed a single day of work. Every morning at exactly 6 o'clock, she cleaned the mansion before anyone else woke up. Marcus barely noticed her. To him, she was invisible, until one morning, everything changed.
Nobody leaves until we find that watch.
I've never seen that before.
So, this is who you really are.
No, sir.
You've been stealing from me.
I swear, I didn't.
I trusted you! You're fired.
I hope one day you discover who actually stole from you.
Get out.
Sir, we have a serious problem.
What now?
Our biggest investors are pulling out.
What are you talking about?
The company's stock just dropped 15% and it's still falling. Miss Naomi, it's finally time.
I was wondering when you'd call.
The board meeting is tomorrow morning. Everyone is waiting for you.
Tell them I'll be there.
King Global's shares continue to fall as a mysterious investor rapidly increases their ownership stake in the company.
What is going on?
Someone has been quietly buying our shares for months.
Who?
We don't know.
Find out.
We're trying.
I don't pay you to try. I pay you to know.
Good morning, Miss Naomi.
Good morning.
We've waited a long time for this day.
Is everything ready?
We now control 48% of King Global.
Not enough.
It will be after today.
Camera 12 isn't working.
Stop recording 15 minutes before the search.
How convenient.
We're trying to recover the files.
You did well.
I've done my part.
No. You've only just begun.
We found the investor.
Who is it?
It's not one person. It's a group of investment firms.
Who owns them?
They're all connected to the same holding company.
Phoenix Capital Partners.
I wish you were here, Grandpa.
He'd be proud of you.
I hope so.
Are you ready to tell Marcus the truth?
Not yet.
He deserves to know.
No, he deserves to learn. I hope one day you discover who actually stole from you.
What if she was telling the truth? Naomi?
I believe I now own 51% of this company.
You?
Good morning, Mr. King.
Mr. Naomi, are you saying Phoenix Capital Partners is under your control?
Yes.
This is ridiculous. You were cleaning my floors yesterday, and today you expect me to believe you own my company?
I never asked you to believe me. I brought proof. The share transfers are legal.
As of this morning, Ms. Naomi has controlling ownership of King Global Holdings.
This is a hostile takeover!
No. This is the consequence of ignoring the people closest to you.
What does that even mean?
Before Naomi could answer, Samuel Brooks entered carrying another folder. Mr. King, I think you should see this. He placed photographs on the table. Security camera images, bank transfers, phone records. Marcus picked them up. His face darkened. Every piece of evidence pointed to one man, Elias Grant, his chief financial officer. Marcus looked toward Elias. You've got something to say? Elias remained perfectly calm. I don't know what this is. Samuel spoke. The anonymous companies buying your investors' shares were created using accounts approved by your finance department. Marcus looked back at Elias. You approved them? Elias smiled. I approve thousands of transactions. You expect me to remember everyone? The evidence was suspicious, but not enough to prove guilt. Meanwhile, the security guard who framed Naomi rushed into a deserted parking garage. He looked terrified. I did everything you asked. A black SUV slowly pulled in. Its headlights illuminated the concrete walls. The back door opened. The same distorted voice spoke from inside. You've become a liability. The guard stepped backward. No. I kept my mouth shut. You promised I'd be safe. The voice replied coldly. I lied. Before anyone could react, another vehicle sped into the garage. The SUV accelerated away. The guard collapsed to the ground in fear, not because he had been shot, but because he had finally realized the people using him never intended to let him live peacefully. Hidden behind a concrete pillar, someone had recorded the entire meeting on a phone. The person quietly walked away before anyone noticed. Back inside King Global, Naomi walked through the executive offices. Employees who had ignored her the day before now stood respectfully as she passed. One young receptionist smiled nervously. Congratulations, ma'am. Naomi smiled back. Thank you. Then she noticed something. The receptionist was wearing worn-out shoes held together with glue. Naomi asked gently, How long have you worked here? 4 years. Have you received a salary increase? The young woman looked down. No, ma'am. Naomi nodded thoughtfully. She turned to Samuel. First order. Review every employee's salary, especially the lowest paid workers. Samuel smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. Several employees exchanged surprised glances. For the first time in years, someone at the top had noticed them. Marcus watched the scene from his office. Confusion slowly replaced anger. If Naomi wanted revenge, why was she helping his employees? That evening, Marcus sat alone in the empty boardroom. Naomi quietly walked in. Neither of them spoke for a moment. Finally, Marcus broke the silence. Who are you? Naomi looked out at the city lights. My grandfather helped build this company. Marcus frowned. What? He and your father started King Global together. Marcus's eyes narrowed. That's impossible. My father built this company from nothing. Naomi slowly shook her head. That's what you were told. She removed an old faded photograph from her bag. It showed 2 young black men standing beside a small warehouse. One was Marcus's father. The other was the same elderly man from the photograph in Naomi's office. My grandfather. Naomi's voice grew softer. They were partners. They dreamed together. They built together. Marcus stared at the picture. He had never seen it before. My father never mentioned him. He stopped mentioning him after lawyers convinced him to force my grandfather out. Marcus looked shocked. No, he wouldn't do that. Naomi met his gaze. I believe that too. Just then, Samuel burst into the room. His face was pale. We have a problem. Naomi turned immediately. What happened? Samuel handed her a tablet. A live financial news report filled the screen. The reporter spoke urgently. Breaking news. King Global Holdings has been hit with allegations of accounting fraud. The government has announced an immediate investigation. Marcus jumped to his feet. What? Samuel looked at both of them. This isn't just about taking over the company anymore. Someone wants to destroy it. Naomi whispered, Elias. Marcus slowly shook his head. No, this is bigger than Elias. At that exact moment, Elias walked into his office upstairs. He locked the door, opened a hidden drawer. Inside was a satellite phone. He dialed a number. The call connected almost instantly. Elias smiled. It's done. A calm voice answered from the other end. Good. Now it's time for phase 2. Elias looked out through the glass wall at Marcus and Naomi, standing together below. He smiled. They still think I'm the mastermind. The voice chuckled. They have no idea who they're really fighting.
The boardroom fell silent. Marcus and Naomi exchanged uneasy glances. For the first time since they met, they were no longer standing on opposite sides. They were standing on the same side. Samuel slowly placed the tablet on the conference table. The accounting fraud story has already spread across every major news network. Our stock will crash when the market opens. Marcus clenched his jaw. This is coordinated. Samuel nodded. It was planned weeks ago. Naomi looked toward Marcus, which means whoever is behind this already knew I would take control. Marcus frowned. No, they expected you to. The realization hit both of them at the same time. Naomi wasn't the target, neither was Marcus. King Global itself was the target. Marcus turned toward Samuel. Call an emergency meeting with every department head. Samuel shook his head. I can't. Marcus frowned. Why not? Samuel looked down. Half of them resigned 15 minutes ago. Marcus froze. What? They all accepted jobs with another company. Naomi's eyes narrowed. Which company? Samuel checked the tablet. A company called Black Horizon Holdings. Marcus frowned. I've never heard of them. Naomi slowly whispered. I have. Marcus looked at her. You know them? Naomi nodded. My grandfather warned me about them. Samuel looked confused. I thought they were just another investment group. Naomi slowly shook her head. No, they don't buy companies. They erase them. The room became silent again. Marcus stared at her. What do you mean? Naomi walked toward the large window overlooking the city. When my grandfather refused to sell his shares, they destroyed his reputation. They forced banks to abandon him. They turned his business partners against him. They made sure nobody would ever work with him again. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. You think they're doing the same thing now? Naomi didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked down at the city below, then quietly said, I know they are. Just then, Samuel's phone vibrated. He answered. His face immediately lost all color. What? He slowly lowered the phone. Marcus stepped forward. What happened now? Samuel swallowed hard. The government has frozen every King Global bank account. Marcus stared at him. All of them? Samuel nodded. Every single one. Before anyone could speak, every light inside the boardroom suddenly went out. Darkness. Only the city lights outside illuminated the room. Then, every television screen inside King Global switched on by itself. One message appeared across every screen in the building. Phase 2 has begun. Marcus whispered, Who are these people? The boardroom remained in darkness. Only the glow from the city skyline lit the room. Across every television screen, the same message remained. Phase 2 has begun. Then, the screens changed. A masked figure appeared. Its face was completely hidden. Its voice was digitally distorted. Good evening, King Global. You have exactly 24 hours. After that, your company will cease to exist. The screen went black. Marcus immediately grabbed the remote. Nothing. Every television shut off at once. Samuel looked stunned. They hacked our entire network. Naomi remained calm. They wanted us to see that. Marcus looked at her. Why aren't you surprised? Because this isn't about money anymore. It's about fear. Samuel's phone rang again. He answered. His eyes widened. What? He turned toward Marcus. The Financial Crimes Commission is downstairs. They have a warrant. Minutes later, the investigators entered the boardroom. Their lead investigator spoke calmly. Mr. Marcus King, Miss Naomi Brooks. Until this investigation is complete, neither of you may leave the country. Marcus Sihid, you actually think we caused this? The investigator shook his head. I think someone wants us to believe you did. Naomi noticed something. One investigator quietly slipped her a folded piece of paper. Nobody else saw it. The investigators left. Marcus looked exhausted. What was that? Naomi slowly unfolded the note. Only 6 words were written. Trust nobody inside this building. Marcus read it twice. Who gave you that? Naomi looked toward the closed door. I don't know. Meanwhile, 3 floors above, Elias watched everything from the security cameras. He smiled. They're exactly where we want them. His satellite phone rang again. He answered immediately. The calm voice spoke. Have they received the message? Yes. And Naomi? She's beginning to ask the right questions. The voice paused. Good. She's getting closer. Elias frowned. You don't sound worried. The voice laughed softly. She still thinks she's playing chess. But she's standing on the chessboard. The call disconnected. For the first time, Elias looked uneasy. Across town, the terrified security guard sat alone inside a cheap motel room. His hands still shook. He couldn't sleep. Every sound made him jump. Suddenly, someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. He froze. Nobody knew he was there. Another knock, even louder. He slowly picked up the small pistol lying on the bedside table. His hands trembled. Who's there? No answer. He slowly walked toward the door. Looked through the peephole. Nobody. He unlocked the door. Opened it. The hallway was empty. Then he looked down. A small brown envelope lay on the floor. His name was written on it. He quickly grabbed it. Locked the door again. Inside the envelope was a flash drive. No note. No explanation. He plugged it into his old laptop. One video file appeared. He clicked play. His own face appeared on the screen. The parking garage. The black SUV. The satellite phone. Everything. Someone had recorded the entire meeting. His breathing stopped. Then another file appeared automatically. A single sentence. If you're watching this, you're the next target. The lights inside the motel room suddenly went out. Darkness. Outside, a car engine slowly started. The security guard backed away from the window. His phone vibrated. Unknown number. He answered. A familiar, calm voice spoke. You should have left the flash drive alone. The call ended. The security guard stood frozen. Then, someone tried to open his motel room door. The motel room door shook violently. The security guard stumbled backward. His heart pounded. Another loud bang. The lock finally snapped. The door swung open. But nobody walked in. Only silence. Then, a voice echoed from the hallway. Run. Without thinking, the guard grabbed the flash drive and ran through the back exit. Outside, a black sedan screeched around the corner. 2 masked men jumped out. The guard sprinted across the parking lot. Bullets shattered the windows behind him. He dove over a concrete barrier. A city bus pulled into the street. He ran toward it. The doors began closing. Wait. The driver hesitated. The guard squeezed inside just before the sedan reached the stop. The bus pulled away. For the first time, he was safe. Or so he thought. Back at King Global, Marcus paced inside the boardroom. We're running out of time. Naomi stared at the flash drive, still displayed on the tablet. The guard is alive. Marcus looked confused. How do you know? He wouldn't have sent this unless he wanted someone to find him. Samuel nodded. We traced the upload. Marcus looked hopeful. Where is he? Samuel pointed at the map. Less than 3 miles away. Marcus grabbed his keys. I'm going. Naomi stood. So am I. Marcus looked at her. They're trying to destroy your company too. For a brief moment, they smiled, not as enemies, as partners. 20 minutes later, they arrived at the small bus terminal. The security guard sat alone on a bench. His face was bruised. His clothes were dirty. The moment he saw Naomi, he dropped to his knees. I'm sorry. I didn't steal the watch. They paid me. I thought it was just a setup. I never knew they'd destroy everything. Naomi helped him to his feet. I know. Marcus stepped forward. Who hired you? The guard hesitated. I never saw his face. They always called through a satellite phone. Marcus's shoulders dropped. We're back where we started. The guard shook his head. No. He handed Naomi the flash drive. I copied everything. There are phone records, bank transfers, voice recordings. They're all on there. Samuel immediately opened the files. His eyes widened. I've got them. Marcus leaned closer. What? The satellite phone connected through a private relay. Samuel typed faster. It bounced through 6 countries, then ended here. He froze. Marcus frowned. Where? Samuel slowly turned the screen. The location was only 3 blocks away. Marcus looked confused. That's impossible, Naomi whispered. That's our building. They raced back to King Global. Security escorted them to the executive floor. Samuel traced the signal, room by room, floor by floor, until, finally, he stopped. The signal came from. Marcus looked up. My father's office. Silence. Marcus slowly unlocked the old office. Nobody had entered it since his father died. Dust covered everything. Awards, photographs, old books. The room looked untouched. Samuel searched the shelves. Nothing. Naomi walked toward an old portrait of Marcus's father. Something felt wrong. She gently touched the frame. Click. The portrait moved. Behind it, a hidden safe. Marcus stared. I never knew. Inside the safe, there was no money, no jewelry, only one sealed envelope, written across the front. For Marcus, his hands trembled as he opened it. Inside, a handwritten letter. Marcus recognized the handwriting immediately. His father's. He began reading aloud. Marcus, if you're reading this, then I failed. Your grandfather's company was never mine alone. David Brooks built it with me. When powerful investors demanded I remove him, I was too weak to fight them. I betrayed my best friend. I spent the rest of my life trying to buy his shares back. But the same people who forced us apart refused to let me. They wanted complete control. If they're coming after you now, don't fight Naomi. Stand beside her. She's the only person left who can save what we started together. Marcus lowered the letter. His eyes filled with tears. He slowly turned toward Naomi. I'm sorry. Naomi looked at him quietly. So was he. Marcus shook his head. No, I'm sorry for what I did, for firing you, for never listening, for treating you like you didn't matter. The room was silent. Naomi smiled sadly. I forgave you the moment you realized the truth. Marcus couldn't speak. Samuel suddenly laughed. Marcus looked up. What? Samuel turned the laptop around. The voice recordings. They've been traced. Marcus leaned closer. Can we identify him? Samuel smiled. Not yet. But we know something better. What? Samuel looked at both of them. He's running. Marcus frowned. What changed? Samuel held up the flash drive. The hidden witness. The person who secretly recorded the parking garage didn't just record the guard. They recorded the black SUV. They recorded Elias. And they recorded the mastermind's voice. Naomi smiled. So whoever they are, they just saved King Global. Outside, police cars surrounded the building. Elias looked out from his office window. His smile disappeared. He quietly placed the satellite phone on his desk. For the first time, he realized Phase 2 had failed. 3 months later, King Global Holdings reopened stronger than ever. Every lowest-paid employee received a salary increase. The company created a scholarship fund in David Brooks' name. Marcus stepped down as chief executive officer, not because he was forced to, because he believed someone else deserved the role. At the company's annual celebration, Marcus stood before hundreds of employees. He smiled. I'd like to introduce the woman who reminded me that The strongest companies aren't built on money. They're built on people. The audience stood. Applause filled the room. Naomi walked onto the stage. She looked across the employees. Many of them smiled through tears. Among the crowd, the young receptionist wore a brand new pair of shoes. The former security guard now worked honestly in the company's compliance department, helping prevent internal fraud. Samuel smiled proudly from the front row. Marcus extended his hand. This time, Naomi took it. The audience erupted in applause. As the camera slowly pulled away from the celebration, it stopped on a man standing across the street. His face remained hidden beneath the brim of a dark hat. He quietly watched the celebration, then turned and disappeared into the crowd. A phone vibrated in his pocket. A message appeared. Phase 3 is cancelled. He smiled, deleted the message, and vanished into the city.